this is a film starring Ewan McGregor and I believe his eldest daughter, Clara McGregor. And it kicks off, and they are somewhere. Okay, now, Sean, I think that you would love the setting of this film
Yeah.
because okay, have a look at this. It kicks off there in a pickup truck, in sort of like a beat up old pickup truck, driving through what looks like the desert in like the American, I would say Midwest going out towards the West. I think it was mostly filmed in New Mexico.
Right. I
So
was going to say Arizona, New Mexico area.
yeah,
Hmm.
I think it's Arizona, New Mexico area. And once that first shot hits, and you just see you see that car driving along the nothing else for miles around, just one stretch of road in the middle of a desert kind of thing. I was like, "Ooh, Sean would like this." And then the film kicks off, and you can see that there is a man in the car with a woman who is younger. As it goes on, it transpires that he is her dad. He is her dad, and he is driving her somewhere because he's just going to pick her up from what transpires was an overdose. It was an overdose that she had, and he picked her up. And so the car comes up, then she says, "Oh, I need to pee." The car stops, and as the car stops, she goes to pee, then gets up and just runs off into the desert. And he
Oh,
gets out of
wow.
the car and chases off after her. Then eventually, she sort of stops. He runs out of breath. They look at each other, get back in the car, keep driving. And this is essentially, it's a road movie in that tradition of American road movies where nothing much happens. It's almost as if it's more about being on the road. It's more about being on the road and all that, and it's about them, and it's about and it's about their interactions, and in terms of that, he's had his own substance abuse problems in the past and how that's affected his daughter. And apparently it's not autobiographical, but there's elements of like Clara McGregor, because I think she helped write it as well, and she says that there's elements of her life in there as well, because this father is not with in the film. The father is not with the mother anymore. The father is with a new person and has a son in his new marriage, which is all very what Ewan McGregor's life looks like now. He's no longer with Clara McGregor's mum. He is now with Mary Elizabeth Winstead. They have a son. And so there's all these elements about it, and it's all of so they go around, and then the car breaks down. They meet somebody who sort of like comes to pick up the car and goes, "No, don't go to a garage. It's gonna be too. I'll take you to my cousin. My cousin will help you fix the car." They go to this cousin, and then this cousin, it looks like he's sort of like Native American, and does stuff, and and then she runs into somebody there who might be offering her some drugs, and it's all about okay, no, but no, we're gonna finish that Vignin, and we're gonna go meet some other person, and we're gonna meet some other. There's gonna be another person along the way, and then there's gonna be a little bit of an adventure. Then it's going to stop meeting with that person. You're going to meet somebody who propositions the father at a truck stop, but he doesn't want anything to do with her for that. But he would help. He would like her to help look after his daughter's crotch because she's been bitten by something while she was peeing. That is that kind of film where it's just so like, yes, Sharon, I saw that face. Like, so it's just got all these different, like all these tiny little things happen, and I personally had a bit of a hard time with this, and I think, but it's probably because I think I need a little bit more propulsion in the things that I watch, and it's kind of like I think they were trying to go for almost like a slice of life and about and I don't quite think that it got there. I don't quite think it gelled. It just instead of it being kind of like sit in the moment and experience like and about being the vibe of the moment that you're in, or just like that sort of the it just I just I found it a little bit boring. Quite frankly, I found it a little bit boring. However, and I think you're supposed to get this idea that there's tension between them, that there's a history between them. Didn't really get that until the final scene. The final scene of the film, all of a sudden, has all this emotion that works in the final scene of the film. That you actually go, hang on a sec, okay, well, I'm getting this now. Okay, I'm getting it. But it's it's a final scene of the film that it's a final scene that the rest of the film leading up to it, I do not think has done the work for, if you get what I mean. So
Yeah.
the final scene is really, really good on its own. And it's almost as if that they had that final scene in mind, that this is what we want to get to. And they had to come up with a story to get to the final scene. But all the stuff that they did beforehand, it almost feels as if it was just meandering, as if it's just treading water until you get to the final scene. But it doesn't really, nothing else in the film has the direction or the power or the hit of the final scene. which is really, really, really weird. Although one thing I would say about the film, Clara McGregor 100% has her dad's eyes.
Right.
And it's one of these things where where you never really notice something, I can't really say I've ever noticed Ewan McGregor's eyes until I see his eyes on somebody else, and I'm like, hang on a second, and you're looking at them back and forth on the screen, and you're going, oh my god, they've got the exact same eyes. It's quite funny. It's like I never noticed his eyes were kind of green, and it's a rare film in which Ewan McGregor gets to be Scottish outside of Trainspotting.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
So he's actually playing a Scottish person in America and all that. So all in all, Bleeding Love, I will have to give, and I am really sorry about this. And I'm really sorry, I believe her name is Rebecca, the lady who sent me the link, because she's asked for this episode. She's asked me to send her this episode when we review it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to give it a 2.
Oh.
I know. I was kind of like, do I go like, oh, no, we have integrity. We were not, just because we got given a link, we're not good. But I was like, no, I'm gonna have to give it a 2 because,
So to be honest.
yeah, I've got to be honest. It feels like a student experimental film that had one good idea, one good scene, and tried to build things towards it, and then the rest of it just didn't match up to that one scene. So, yeah, if you want to have a quote from me, say the final scene is really powerful. Apart from that, just ignore everything else I've said. All right, cool. And now